up, nerds? My name is Leslie Smith. Welcome back to the Nerdy Narrative, where today I am going to talk about all of the books that I want to read during the month of October. First up, let's talk about one that I was approved for on NetGalley called A Lonesome Blood Red Sun by David Putnam. This one comes out on October 17th. I have no idea what it's about. Heads up to those of you who may be new to the channel. Whenever I get a book off NetGalley, typically I requested that book months ago and I just schedule it close to its release date because they generally want you to wait and post a review 2 weeks before the book comes out. I kind of love that I've forgotten the book description because when it comes to horror and thriller, I like to go in blind, and the synopsis has a really bad habit of spoiling certain things or setting certain expectations in those genres, so I'm glad that I forgot. And then I'll move into a fantasy novel that was entered into this year's SPFBO 9 competition. It's called Springtide Harvest by J.D. Mitchell. I do want to clarify, it's not for my team. I've read all of my books for my team and chosen my semifinalists. Now I'm just reading other books in SPFBO 9 that I thought sounded good to me. This is one of those books. I can tell you it's fantasy. I have no idea what it's about because I have plumb forgotten. That was months ago, but we're gonna read it and find out, and I'm gonna tell you all about it. Next up on my October TBR list is a buddy read that I'm going to read with fellow friend and reviewer Eddie Castro. You can find him on Twitter. We will be reading Violin by Anne Rice. This is an Anne Rice novel I've not read before. I found it interesting that it's hard to find. I did find that my library has a copy that I can get from them to read, but when I was looking around at places to see if it was available for purchase, that's where I ran into a wall trying to find a copy. So I'm getting this one from my library. I'm looking forward to checking that one out. I can't remember if it's one of those type of stories where it's a deal with the devil to play better kind of thing. It's an Anne Rice novel. There's got to be some kind of horror element to it, right? No clue. We'll find out together. Next is my patron pick of the month. My patron Tara gave me some options and I went with the new release by Philip Fracassi, which is Boys in the Valley. It's a religious horror and it's going to be a double feature because I'm also going to be reading another Philip Fracassi novel, A Child Alone with Strangers. And this is going to be my first time reading this author. I'm really excited. This one was sent to me a while back by a viewer who thought this was going to be one that I was going to love, and I wanted to save it for October. So I'm excited to have two Philip Fracassi books to read. And what is October without reading a Junji Ito manga? This is Junji Ito's Cat Diary, Yan and Moo. And what trips me out about this one is on the back it says Hello Kitty. This is going to be a buddy read with my friend Una from the Codex Cantino. I want to say Una is the one that turned me on to Junji Ito a few years ago by recommending Uzumaki. Or maybe we buddy read that one October over the years. Who knows? But we are continuing that tradition. I am excited. Another buddy read is Travis Baldry's Legends and Lattes. I picked this one up forever ago. I was in Barnes & Noble trying to get a book. They didn't have it, but they had this one with the deckled edges. So I am a sucker for deckled edges. This is one my friend Gail has as well. So we're going to be buddy reading this one. If we love it, then we're planning to follow up with the second in the series, which I want to say comes out in November. I am interested to try out this whole cozy fantasy subgenre thing that's new to the scene. So looking forward to reading this one and talking to y'all about it. I know a lot of y'all have read this, so we can have a lot of fun discussion about it as I make my way through. Last I checked, this one was leading the poll for the one my patrons wanted me to vlog for them. Every month I try to post my TBR early and let them pick one for me to vlog and just post for my patrons only. So if you're into that, I do have a link to my Patreon down below. Moving into some rereads, I will be continuing my Wheel of Time reread with book 10, Crossroads of Twilight. This is the original mass market paperback that I bought as the series was coming out back in 2002, 2003. This was my very first copy of the book. I've read it many times, though you can't tell it. I mean, I keep my stuff in mint condition. That's just how I am. This is the only series that I kept my mass market paperbacks of, even though I've replaced them with hardbacks, because I have so much nostalgia and good memories from reading these books over the years. So I'll be continuing with that series. Another series I'm rereading is the Dresden Files, and I will be continuing that journey with Small Favor. And then I think I have a short story that comes along because I'm reading the short stories and manga with it. Yes, next up in this one takes place between White Knight and Small Favor, called It's My Birthday Too Let's see. I have started a short story collection. I started it late September called The Vengeful Dead by John James Minster. I'll be carrying on with this month and finishing. Then continuing on with reading all of Joan Didion's nonfiction essays. The essay that is on deck for the month of October is called The Getty. Now this is a read along hosted by Kate with the Literary Apothecary. I'll have her channel linked down below if you want to join her Discord. We're talking about all of the essays of Joan Didion's as we read them, as well as the Wheel of Time series. That's a reread that she's hosting. She's got channels in her Discord where we're talking about all of these books as we make our way through. Visit the description box and check out Kate's channel if you want to join in on any of those conversations. And that is going to put a bow on the list of books that I would love to read during the month of October. If I get these done, and which I hope that I do, I want to squeeze in some books that I've been mentioning over the past few months that I just was not able to get through for one reason or another. I gotta get some catching up done. So friends, if you are reading anything during the month of October you are excited about and want to share, head on down to the comment section, share what you're reading for October. If you are excited about anything that I'm reading, whether you read it, it was a favorite, or it's been on your want to read list and you're happy somebody's gonna read it and tell you about it, I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for being here and watching, spending a little time with me this morning. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you in the next one.